Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but we also discuss how we're going to fix it together. The content that I've got for you tonight is breaking news. Oregon has been dealt another relief, and the gun controllers out there have been dealt another blow. A judge has just issued another order which continues a TRO which has been in place, which is a backhand to the gun control request that was that question. Everything is going to be linked in the description box below, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think about this one. And if you are a new or a returning viewer, please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning that notification bell on. We need as many people as we can to get into the fold, get into the trenches, so we can spread the positive two-way news out there everywhere and pass it on to the next generation. Make sure you guys send this one out because this one is breaking and gun controllers are not going to like it. Now, this content I'm about to share with you is brought to you by STI, and we'll say a quick word and then we're going to hit it. Now, I know a lot of you out there like to upgrade and modify your own guns. And if you're looking to turn a hobby into a career, Sonoran Desert Institute can help. Their online programs cover everything from gunsmithing, ballistics, woodworking and finishes, shooting sports management, and more. Plus, all the tools and materials are shipped directly to your door. There's never been a better time to turn that hobby into a career, so what are you waiting for? There's a link in the description box below, and thank you so much to STI for making this content possible. But my brothers and sisters, as I mentioned in the introduction, this is all about Measure 114, the quote, toughest gun control in the nation. Well, it got dealt a TRO, or a temporary restraining order, a couple of weeks ago. Well, now, the state asked, hey, could we maybe separate the background checks from the TRO? Because after all, it is different. The judge goes, no, stop it. You shouldn't have done that. All right, check this out. Everything is linked. Measure 114's background check requirement that closes the Charleston loophole remains blocked by judge. Now, this happened today. This is breaking as of earlier this afternoon, or this morning in Pacific time, this afternoon Eastern time. Tony Aiello Jr., an attorney for Gun Owners of America, argued in the hearing that what the state calls a loophole is actually a relief valve put in the federal law to make sure a gun buyer isn't waiting indefinitely for their background check to be completed. It's a way to prevent gun control through convenience. Okay? If the government doesn't want someone to have a gun and they say, oh, your background check is pending, and it's pending indefinitely, that would be gun control by default. That escape valve that he's talking about is there so that the government can't do it past 3 days. That's the entire point. The point is so the government cannot abuse your rights. But let's get into what they're actually asking for, and this is what the judge asked ruled prior. Ratio last month halted all parts of the Oregon gun control measure. This is 114. He issued a preliminary injunction against its restrictions on the sale, manufacture, and use of large capacity magazines. We covered it extensively. And a temporary restraining order on the requirements that a permit be obtained to buy a gun and that a background check may be completed before a dealer can sell or transfer a gun. That's what the TRO was on. The permit to purchase a gun and the background check in order to proceed with a sale. That was the entire thing. Okay? Well, the state decided, you know what, we don't need those two together. The TRO, or the temporary restraining order, we can talk about the permitting system because that's not going to be ready until March. But the background check system, can we do that now, please? Can you let it be law? The judge said no, and listen to how he said no. This is key. This is from the Oregon Judicial Department. This is Robert S. Ratio, presiding judge, January 3, 2023. That is today. This happened a couple of hours ago. Parties, this is the letter. The court has considered the arguments of the parties regarding severing the background check portion of ballot measure 114 from the current temporary restraining order on a permit to purchase program the defendants are not able to deploy at this time. So again, they're trying to separate the background checks on every single gun sale from the TRO on the permit to purchase program. That's what we're trying to do here, okay? That's what the state was attempting to do, and they lost. The language the defendants urged the court, defendants of the state, urged the court to use to sever inexorably linked with the permit to purchase program means it's completely conjoined. It cannot be separated without destroying it. To find otherwise requires the court to ignore the operative language linking each provision on background checks to the permit to purchase program. The court would be separating sentences at commas and considering the phrase, quote, permit holder surplusage. And it's not surplusage. The court declines the defendant's invitation to do so at this preliminary stage. Basically, the judge said you cannot possibly separate your permit to purchase program and the background check law. It cannot be done. It's got to be it's intertwined in the law. Therefore, it's got to be judged on as an intertwined nature. They said no. That's the important piece because now the TRO still applies to the background check mandates. So it has to go through the entire timeline, just like the permit to purchase. Oregon, You just got a whole lot more time. All right. Further, only if the court holds the permit to purchase program unconstitutional will it consider severing the background checks pursuant to Section 12 of Ballot Measure 114, which reads in part, quote, any provision of this 2022 Act or its applications to any person or circumstance is held invalid. Then the court determines if other portions of the law survive. Since the court has not held unconstitutionality, invalidity, or ineffectiveness of one or any of its articles, sections, subsections, sentences, or clauses, severability is not triggered by the language or under the operative clauses. That's the important piece. They cannot, by the measure of the actual 114 itself, they cannot sever these things, but the court and the state asked to do it anyway because they want the gun control so bad they can taste it. They ain't getting it. They are remaining unsatisfied, and here is the final verdict from the judge. The court declines to remove the background check provisions from the TRO as the provisions are intertwined with the permit to purchase program, and the court has made no final determination or constitutionality of the program. On constitutionality of the program. The court will address severability only if it finds the permit to purchase program unconstitutional at a final declaratory and injunctive hearing on the merits of the complaint. So ordered. I love how they sign that. So ordered. The whole point here is the state was like, hey, while you're deciding this over the next months and years, can we maybe get the mandatory background checks that was in there too? The judge flat out said no, handing another huge L to the gun controllers in Oregon and another big old W to the people of Oregon. That's what I've got for you guys. This was Breaking. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you on the next one.